That's not it. It's how are we doing? How are we do? If you want to sing my song, then sing it right. What's up, Star Fam? How are we doing? When or while you come on in the room, won't you come on? Mom, excuse me. Now you just want to mess up my intro. If you're not going to sing the intro, then you can go head on, but you're not going to hate. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Sing it, mama. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? My mom did a whole praise dance. A whole praise dance. Hey, Sarah. What's up? What it is, Sarah? What's up? Get my water. Let me get my water, babe. Ooh. Ciao. Oh, my goodness. That was so unladylike. There we go. Hey, Julia. Julia said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Mama Star.
Hey, my love.
Hey, Melissa. Thank you. Fifi said, I had a feeling Nikki wasn't going to be impressed by this season. It wasn't going to review much. It's boring. It's like so hard to find anything to talk about. It really, really is. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Megan. Hey, Blue Jay. How are you? Hey, Irene. Hey, Denard. How are you guys? Yes, you are. Hey, Alana. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Shonda. Shonda said, welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining NikkiStar Live. Please like and subscribe for more great content. Thank you, Shonda. Simply just said, hey, Nikki, glad to be back with the lives. Yes, thank you for being here. Simply Simone, what's up? Said, just in time for lunch. Already turned on a notification for tomorrow's live. I'm tired, Simply Simone. I'm sick of them people. They have got to get it together. Everybody involved in that mess is too old. I'm talking about all the housewives and Bravo drama happening right now. Y'all too old. Y'all are too old. Y'all have got to get it together. Hey, Marvina. Blue Jay said, I've been tuning in since the start of this pandemic. I have enjoyed every step and every live on the way. Thank you for being you. Blue Jay, you're so sweet. Thank you. Irene said, Jack is boring. Zach is boring. The women are carrying the show. Absolutely. This is the Brooklyn Stan account. I love me some Brooklyn. I love me some Brooklyn. Denard said, definitely a struggle season for sure. It's really tough. I miss Ari. That's how rough this season is. But that's what nepotism gets you. It doesn't give you the best, right? It gives you the mediocre of the privilege. No shade to Zach. He's probably a really sweet guy. But this was Rodney's season. He should have been our Bachelor. Hey, Hope. Hope said, I don't watch the show anymore, but I love you. Love you too, Hope. Thank you for tuning in. Caitlin said, if Charity isn't the Bachelorette, like who else? Who else? If it's not Charity, I would be enraged. But if it's Charity and then but if it's not Charity and they give it to Brooklyn, I'll be mad, but I'll be like, okay, Brooklyn gonna give us a season. Hey, Marlene, how are you? Simply just said, yes, this season is dry and unseasoned. It's just dry boots. Dry boots. I'm still looking for spoilers on that. I need to know who the Bachelorette is because I thought at first it was going to be Brianna. Sorry, Bree, you tanked that. This was yours. This was they gave you the show and you tanked it. But now Charity is looking like the move. I love her. I love her. Oh, more is coming. This is thank you everybody who subscribed to my my second channel, NikkiStar at Home. The issue is when I came back to LA, I came back to LA right in pilot season. So I just wasn't doing much but like industry stuff. And some stuff I can't show you guys because, stuff doesn't come out or stuff gets shelved. So I really couldn't film my life just because the stuff that was interesting that I was doing, you can't really film. So I am doing some more stuff now that I could film. So I will have more vlogs, but it was just like half the stuff the majority of the stuff that I was doing, I just couldn't show. So I just was like, I don't really have anything. And I didn't want to put up like a boring spend the day with me. And it's just me going to Target, which would be fun. But still, I'm in LA. I want to give you guys LA. So, but I have a lot of stuff coming up that I'm going to film. So look out for another vlog, my vlog of the year, the first vlog of the year this Sunday, because I'm piecing that together, editing and putting that together right now. So sorry. Charity for Bachelorette, absolutely. Paradise is going to give. I think so. I think they got a lot of great characters. I'm telling you right now that Kylie, the one that got cut last episode, her and Greer and Brooklyn, they're going to eat on Paradise. Eat. Ryan said, looking at the previews, it may get interesting with him sleeping with one of the girls after saying he wouldn't sleep with anyone. That's the dumbest thing to me, right? I absolutely feel like, you should always test drive. Listen, test driving may not be for everyone, but I'm saying I understand that logic, right? However, in the basis of this show, absolutely not. Absolutely not. To the women that are going on the show, do not sleep with that man. Do not sleep with none of these bachelors. This is a TV show. You are coming on this TV show to, get a come up in your life. You don't want no husband right now. Let's be real, right? Do not feel obligated or sleep with that dude. That is not why you are there. You are there to get 100,000 Instagram followers and maybe 40K in YouTube subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, you are not there to sleep with that man. Do not sleep with the bachelor. I don't care how cute you think he is. You don't know that man. You don't know him. You'll find out who he is on the press tour, right? And if you still like what you see, then you could bust it open. But until then, absolutely not. He absolutely did. I don't want to see him in Paradise. I want to see him as the Bachelor. Caitlin also said it's either going to be Charity or the heartbroken second placer. But like, who is as interesting and who is getting as much screen time? I absolutely think it's going to be Charity. Naya said, hey, Nikki, hey, Star fam. This week off of work has me catching every live and I'm loving it. Yay! Yay for a break. You go, girl. Caitlin said Bachelor in Paradise Canada comes out this May. Some rumor people, including Chelsea from Matt's season and Connor, the cat from Katie's. That'd be interesting. I forgot that they put that Americans go on Bachelor in Paradise as well in Canada. I forgot about that. Bi-coastal. I'm going back to Atlanta sooner, very soon. Just because there's two, Atlanta and LA, and New York as well, but more so LA for people like me, more so Atlanta for people like me. It's just a really budding entertainment industry, and I'm just trying to like get my feet wet over there as well as I make waves over here. Melissa said, Kat's white privilege shine through. Not used to someone criticizing her actions, unable to take responsibility. Child, talk about it. She did not like getting called out. Fifi said, especially when he's dipping and dapping. Yeah, I'm just like, I never know why these women sleep with these men. I'm just like, you probably would in your real life, but let's be very clear. You would not sleep with a guy who you know is dating 30 other women. You just wouldn't do that. So if you wouldn't do it in real life, don't do it on this TV show, right? Especially when you know that there's an agenda, that it's essentially a game show. Like, don't do that to your mind and your body. Protect your peace and your puss. Megan said, I'm starting to see some traits in Zach that's making me. Well, and this is not for you, Megan, but remember when I was just like, something not right. He's giving me American Psycho. Everybody was like, oh no, Zach is sweet. He's so nice. I could absolutely see him as the Bachelor. And I was like, you can see him as the Bachelor? Do you need to open your damn eyes? Because how? Now everybody is like, oh, yeah, I don't think he's a good pick. Again, no shade to Zach. I'm just saying, for the lead of a show, you got to give us some more. You got to give us some more. Caitlin said, I love that it's far enough in the season to start shipping my paradise couples. Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you, Hope. Hope said you'll find your footing, babe. You are incredible. It will happen. Amen. From your lips to God's ears. Let's get into this review. We're first going to start off with a review of the latest episode, a recap of the latest episode / review / dragging. And then we're going to end with 2 spoilers that I have to talk about with you guys. Who want to stay, I will absolutely give you a spoiler alert. Let's start off with just 2 things I want to talk about from not this week's episode, but last week's episode. 2 things I want to talk about. One, how Zach got COVID and none of the ladies cared. Zach got COVID and all the ladies were like, so we're not going to go on a group date? Nobody was like, oh, is he okay? Like, when Jesse told them that he got COVID, I'm like, it's not, guys, this isn't the flu. Like, COVID is real serious here. Like, I was expecting, even if they were faking concern, I was expecting some kind of concern. But when the ladies were crying because they were not going to get the screen time that they wanted, was like, what the? And then Charity was just like, when she found out that she wouldn't be going on her date with Zach because he was still feeling very sick, she started breaking down crying, and she was just like, wow. So I guess, the one-on-one is not going to happen. I really wanted this one-on-one. I was like, girl, first say to the camera, I hope that he's okay. Like, none of the girls care. I think it was Katie who put together a basket and, went over to him and talked to him or whatever through the door. And I was like, genius. Absolutely genius, right? Because I'm sitting here watching these women cry over the fact that they will not be able to go on a date with Zach other than, feeling bad that he's got COVID. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't feel bad. I'm saying their initial reaction was that they felt bad for themselves, right? So my thing is, if you realize this week you're not going to, at least for I think you got to quarantine for like 7 or 14 days at this point. I feel like they keep on changing the numbers, but I think they properly quarantine him. So if you know that you're not going to get screen time for at least 2 weeks, then you have to do something to get some kind of guaranteed screen time. And Katie was smart. She went to her room, put together a basket, and went out there and had a one-on-one date with Zach throughout the door. It was quick or whatever, but I thought it was genius for her to do. I'm like, I'm listening to the ladies cry, and I'm like, you guys are literally in London. Put together an afternoon tea and pack it up and send it to him and say, get well soon. Or y'all make a big batch of soup or something. Like, if there was so much stuff that they could have done, they could have taken turns checking in on him, just through the door, just saying, hey, dropping off some tea. Hey, dropping off, some orange juice. Just wanted to make sure you're okay. There were so many things that they could do, but they just rather cry about not getting to go on the date with him than maximize the screen time that will be taken away from him, from them, for not going out on the group date or one-on-one date with him. But they just did not get it. But I was on the floor. I was like, wait, guys, hold on, ladies. First, you should say, is Zach okay? When Jesse tells you that he has COVID, the first thing that you should say is, oh my gosh, no, I hope he's okay. And not, oh my gosh, no, we're not going to go on our date. I loved it. I was like, none of y'all want to marry that man. None of y'all want to marry that man. There's no way that was your first reaction over a guy that you want to marry. And your first reaction is you, not him. You don't want to marry him. He was mad about your screen time. The second thing I want to talk about is, I'm glad in the preview that we see, I believe her name is Greer, come back, because I did not like how Zach treated her on the when they did their Zoom date. I didn't like it. She was trying to connect with him because they were having a very hard time connecting. And all she said was, I understand, or was trying to relate to him. Now, it was not the same thing, But this was a weird way to have a date, right? Especially when you and the person that you are on this date with are struggling to find a connection. So she went into the room uncomfortable, right? She's checking in on you, and then she just found something to relate to you. Now, Zach finding his wife and Greer trying to meet a deadline for the quarter for her, for the yearly quarter or whatever for her job. Yes, it's not the same thing, but my God, today the girl did not deserve that kind of reaction. He just got real flippant out of nowhere, and I'm like, it was a bad comparison. It wasn't a great comparison, but it wasn't horrible. Like, I just didn't understand. And he stayed there. He stayed there even when she apologized and wanted to move on from it. He stayed there. He's just like, well, I don't know. I'm trying to find a wife. You're comparing it to work. That just, I'm kind of bothered by that. Like, why are you so sensitive? Like, what is it? You're the one that was careless getting COVID. You in the production was probably out getting women, getting numbers, doing whatever y'all want to do in Estonia, living your best life. Because if you were quarantined like the rest of the cast, Zach tried to choke me, and not leaving the hotel, you would have not gotten COVID. I guarantee you Zach probably was hanging out with somebody in production, and when they had a little bit of downtime, they were exploring Estonia, or going clubbing or something like that. Because normally when you film these shows, you're supposed to be quarantined the entire time. But Zach is the lead, so he has a little bit more leeway to do certain things that he wants to do. He doesn't have the same leeway as the ladies who can't go anywhere without production okaying it. So I just felt like his treatment of her was just poor. I don't think she deserved that. It was just really, really weird to see how he just turned it up on her for that not so great comparison. But it wasn't an attack, and he did not need to respond like that. Now, let's talk about this episode. Also, having had COVID, I'm glad that he's okay. I will say that that ain't nothing to play with, and I'm glad that he was able to recover, to make a full recovery from having COVID. Now, let's get into Kat. Do I have a picture of Kat? I don't think I have her picture. Hold on, I can bring it up though. Kat the Bachelor. Her name came right up. They're not playing with her. They're not playing with her. Let me see if I have. Oh, this is a picture, ain't it? My God, today. Do we have anything smaller? Yikes. I don't know how big this picture is going to be, so we're going to find out together. We are going to find out together. This pic, it looks huge, but we'll see. We will see. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to try to minimize it because this just looks way too big. This looks way too big. But while I'm doing that, let's talk about Kat, right? So Kat decides that because Zach is coming in to give his one-on-one, to do his one-on-one date with Charity. So Kat decides to steal him for 1 second when he comes in, and everybody's just like, why are you stealing him? Like, that never happens. Like, right before a girl is about to go on a date, nobody steals him, right? Especially a one-on-one. You don't steal him. You let him take the girl, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, and then they leave the room, and then other women cry and say, I wish that it was me. But you don't say, hey, can I steal you for 1 second so that we can have a conversation? But she decided to do it, right? So all the ladies felt some sort of way about it. Charity, but especially Brooklyn, right? And it was Charity's date, but Brooklyn felt some sort of way about it. Charity sat there in amazement and watched her do it, but Brooklyn really had a problem. Okay, so this is our picture. We're going to see how big it is, if it's big at all. We'll see. I tried to minimize it, but let's see. Oh, okay. It is what it is. So, Brooklyn really had a problem with it. Charity had a problem too. It was her one-on-one, but Brooklyn really, really had an issue with that. This is the thing that I will say about that. Do I think that it was tacky that hello that Kat pulled Zach aside right before he's about to go on a date with another woman and kiss her? Yes, I do think that it was tacky. It was tacky. Like Zach comes back in the room and he got Kat's lip gloss all over his lips and he about to take somebody else out on a date. I do think that it was tacky, right? Do I think that it was wrong? Absolutely not. This is a competition. At the end of the day, Kat wants to win. Everybody should be there to win. I don't understand these ladies who come on this show and don't play the game. I will never understand it. I will never understand it. And I will never hate on the ones who come on this show with an agenda and play the freaking game and soar, because that's what you're supposed to do with reality TV. That move that she made was tacky. She'll have to live with that in reality TV if people care after the season is over. However, she did what needed to be done. She did what you're supposed to do. She stole camera time and she stole a kiss from the lead, which means that she'll probably make it a bit longer because one, the producers like her because she will make a scene and she will mix it up. She will start some mess. And also, she's getting him aroused, by kissing and leaning on him or whatever. So he'll be attracted to that and he'll keep her along for probably longer than she would have lasted had she not made a move like that, which is another reason why I think that Greer is going to come back, because she was very emotional all over the place, had a lot of camera time. And now that she's gone, you can feel that lack of chaoticness. No shade, Greer, but you know what I mean? But that's good for reality TV, because every time there was any kind of scene with Zach or somebody else, Greer was always having a moment. Unlike, I believe her name is Jess, right? Unlike Jess, who I want to talk to, yes, Jess, who I'm going to have a personal conversation with through the screen at the end of this. But unlike Jess, who it just seemed like this environment was not healthy for her, Greer was able to perform in a certain way where you weren't concerned, but you were gagged because it was a lot of stuff happening. And that is train wreck TV, right? It's like she was on an emotional roller coaster, but it appeared as if she was in the driver's seat. With Jess, this environment doesn't seem healthy for her mental state at all. So it's not fun to watch because she doesn't seem like she's in control. But Greer appears as if she's in control, which is why she's coming back, because there is a lack of that chaoticness that she brought to the show. So I'm glad she's coming back. I think she's coming back mainly for Zach to right his wrong with how he treated her. I think that's what's going to happen. I think when she comes back, she'll probably get cut again, but we'll see Zach be softer with her. And that's a smart move, I believe, on production, because how he treated her was not cool. And if they didn't want to put out a narrative that he's like a mean bachelor, then leaving that scene the way it is and not having him correct that will look that way. So I think that what Kat did, tacky, but this is a competition and this is reality TV. So I'm not mad at her for doing it. She did what needed to be done. Everybody else sat there and watched her. I would have followed her as well. I would have been like, you know what? I want to talk to him too. Like, you have to fight for your camera time. It's 30 actresses up there. Let's be real. They're all actresses at some point. 30 actresses up there trying to fight for screen time. We're not going to get mad and villainize the one person who is doing what you should do. We will villainize her for being a millennial / Gen Z Karen, because I'm not sure how old she is, but I feel like if she's, over 25, she's absolutely a millennial. But we can villainize her for that. But we're not going to villainize her for doing what needed to be done. I was just like, everybody's sitting here watching her looking foolish and not joining her. This is a competition. She did the right thing. Not the right thing, but the smart thing. Let's get into Brooklyn, who I love. I love me some Brooklyn. If Charity ain't the Bachelorette, I'll take it with Brooklyn because Brooklyn to me, she gives me Little Clear. Little Clear Crawley. I don't know if she changed her last name yet because she's newly married. Congrats, sis. Um, she married to a sneakerhead too. Okay, girl. But Brooklyn gives me Clear. She absolutely gives me Clear, and I love that for her. I love that for her. I like that she does not hold back. She speaks her piece, even if she's wrong. She gives you a scene. She gives you a scene, and I absolutely love that for her because there was a point right at the end of this episode where Charity pulled Kat aside and was like, I just want to talk to you about it. Kat, you absolutely should have pulled Charity aside. She should not have pulled you aside, especially since everybody was saying that what you did was wrong. You should have, been trying to make amends, but you were just holding court that you ain't do nothing wrong, right? So before we even get to the rose ceremony, Kat and Brooklyn went at it after Charity left. And Brooklyn was like, why did you do that? And Kat was like, what? I'm dating him. I wanted to see him. She was like, yeah, but none of us do that. Whenever a girl has a one-on-one date, none of us steals the guy right before he goes out with the girl on a one-on-one date. So why did you choose to do that now? And Kat was like, I don't have to explain myself to you. Brooke was like, you don't have to explain yourself to us, but what you did was not cool. Like, it wasn't right. And Kat was like, what are you doing? Then she goes in her confessional, cries victim, says that Brooklyn is being aggressive, says that Brooklyn is bullying her and being mean. And I think she said that she said she was saying offensive words to her. I'm like, where are the offensive words? And even Brooklyn was just like, I didn't say anything to her to make her say that I was bullying or being offensive to her. I said the truth. I said that when one of the ladies has a one-on-one date, we never pull the guy aside, the bachelor aside, right before he takes her out on a one-on-one date. It's just a level of respect, which leads me to the rose ceremony. And Charity was just like, I would like to, talk to Kat. Kat, you should have said, you should have did that, not Charity. But they agreed to talk. And while they're talking, Brooklyn comes over and she's like, hey, I know you guys are talking. And Charity was shocked. I do not think that this was a setup because Charity was like, hey, how are you, Brooklyn? And Brooklyn was like, hey, I know you guys are talking, but I just want to say something. Why did you choose to pull Zach right when he came in for his one-on-one date with Charity? Why did you choose that time to do that to her? Because I've never seen you do that to any other woman in this. And then as soon as she said that, Kat walked away. And I said, Brooklyn, stay right there. Stay right there, sis. I know exactly what you are saying and what you were about to finish saying if Kat didn't walk away. And that's exactly why Kat walked away, because she didn't want Brooklyn to finish her sentence, because Brooklyn peeped it and called it out. I said, okay, super ally. Brooklyn was about to say, you only did that to Charity because she's Black. That's the only reason why you did it, because you have never did it to any other woman that Zach had a one-on-one date with, and you have never did it to any other woman that Zach was spending time with, but you felt the need to do it to Charity because you knew that you could. That's what Brooklyn was about to say. And Kat walked away because she was smart. She was absolutely smart to walk away from that, but Brooklyn was about to finish that sentence. I said, Brooklyn, stay right there. Stay right there. She was like, why do you choose her to do it? And not the other one-on-one dates that he went on, but you chose to do it to her. Why? Ah! I love her. Team Brooklyn, that's my girl. Wake it up, sis. Wake it up. This is the thing. This is why I like her, right? Because I feel like this show, they're trying to keep this like bubble, like innocent bubble of what this show used to be 20 something years ago. The world is so different now. We're having a lot of different conversations, and all of these contestants and leads come on this show and act like the world that they are living in does not exist. Does not exist. So I was here for a contestant ready to have a real conversation with no fluff It was not going to be any fluff in this conversation because Brooklyn was like, why did you choose her out of everybody else? Why did you choose to do it to her? That's the real deal. And I was ready for that conversation to happen. So that's why I like her, because she is the only one who broke that bubble and was like, let's be real here. Let's be real. And I feel like that's why Brooklyn was so upset. And I feel like there were other conversations that happened because we saw Brooklyn like throughout the day just get, angrier and angrier about the situation. And then when she made it about Charity, I was like, oh, they had a conversation. They had a conversation and that absolutely came up. That absolutely came up that Kat chose Charity out of everybody else. And everybody else was talking about that whole situation because when Kat was trying to play victim, everybody was looking away. Like, no, girl, you have no support over here. So they all were talking about it. So by the time we got to the rose ceremony, Brooklyn was at her limit. And she was like, let's have this conversation on camera. I'm here for it. Wake it up, Brooklyn, and take that energy to paradise. Let's go. Because I would love for Brooklyn to be like, why aren't any of the guys making connections with these beautiful Black queens? She'd be the one to do it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I have we're really going to send the 4 Black women on this show home in 2023? Yes, Brooklyn, wake it up. One can only hope that she would do something like that. But anyway, I'm basically saying that I just like how Brooklyn is real. She doesn't come and do the fluff of this show. She's the real deal. And I think this show needs that. The show will benefit from reality finally on reality TV. Charity's date was that. Charity, 10s across the board. 10s across the board. No notes. You're the freaking bachelorette. Stay right here. Stay right here. You've got it. You have got it. The date was beautiful. She had an emotional moment where she was basically saying, I never really had a voice, and I feel like I have a voice with you and that you see me. All that beautiful stuff, right? All of that beautiful stuff. I loved her performance. 10 out of 10. No notes. Thank you for being the bachelorette that we need. Thank you so much, Charity. I loved it. I loved it. I will say, though, when I was watching her date with Zach, my mom came in the room and, you know how people who say they don't watch the show all of a sudden start watching the show. So she was standing by the couch and just looking. Then the next thing you know, she was sitting down. Then the next thing you know, she had the throw on our couch and she was watching the show. And then when they were halfway through their date, she kept on saying, girl, hold your wig. When Zach flipped Charity upside down, my mom was like, girl, your wig. But I'm like, Mom, I don't think it's a wig. I think that Charity either has a sew-in or a U-part wig that's clipped down. She knows what she's doing. Because that wig or weave is never out of place. That hair is unclockable. Unclockable. She knows what she's doing. She's the bachelorette that we need. She's the bachelorette that we need. A sister who knows how to wear a half wig and a leave out. The bachelorette that we need. The hair is unclockable. Unclockable. You go, Charity. We are rooting for you. Before I get to Jess, I do want to talk about, there's a scene where at the rose ceremony, cocktail party, Zach is talking to Kat, right? And he's just like, we had a great time on the date because they had a group date. I don't know if it was a cocktail. I think it was a cocktail party. They had a group date or whatever. And Zach was like, I felt some distance. Like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? And I want to give props to Kat, the millennial Karen. I want to give props to her in this aspect, right? Because Zach knew exactly what happened with Kat and Brooklyn. He knew. Producers already briefed him because his acting in this scene was so poor, right? we already knew that you knew what happened by the way you were acting and asking questions, right? So the audience, was already aware that you knew that Kat had gotten into it with Brooklyn, right? And Kat knew that you knew because she caught up on it real quick. Because Zach was like, did something happen to change like your energy? Because you're just really different. Are we okay? Because I'm feeling something. I'm not feeling like we're as connected as we were earlier, in the day or yesterday when I came in to get charity. But like now on this date, something is different. What is it? Trying to get her, he was prodding her and trying to get her to talk about her beef with Brooklyn. Why is he going to do that? Why is he trying to do that or attempting to do that? It's because he is going to take Brooklyn and Kat on a 2-on-2 date. That is my prediction. That's not a spoiler. I don't know. I'm just predicting that right now, but I'll look into it. I will definitely research that. I feel like these two are going to be the 2-on-2 because they have the most, prominent beef right now. They're going to be the 2-on-2, and one of them or both of them is going to get eliminated on that date, or one of them might get eliminated on the date, and then the other one gets eliminated at the rose ceremony. But I love that Kat was like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, everything's fine. No, we had a great. No, nothing's going on. I have no idea. I haven't heard of anything. What are you saying? I was like, yeah, girl, play the game. Play the game back to him, because Zach is sitting over here acting like he doesn't know. Just say you heard. Word on the street is I heard that you was beefing with Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Just say that instead of playing this game. But I love that Kat played it right back with him. Now let's get into Jess. Mama, come close to the screen. I want to let you know right now, you're getting in your own way. You are getting in your own way. That imposter syndrome is eating you alive. Before you can get to a success or a victory, you've already defeated yourself. You have already spoken that good things are not going to happen to you or for you, because this whole episode, you just allowed, not, I won't say allow, there were just terrible scenarios playing over and over in your mind. And no matter how many people told you that that was not the case, no matter how many times Zach assured you that there was something there, you could not hear, because in your mind, you have already lost. You have already been defeated. And I want to say to you, I don't know what you believe. I'm just going to say something that has helped me and that has been said amongst my people for a very long time. Sweetie, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. He is in your ear lying to you, girl. This whole episode, you were just listening to all kinds of lies, and nobody was saying this stuff to you. You were saying it. People will come to you and be like, oh no, Zach really likes you. No, he doesn't. Why would you say that? No, there's nothing there. No, he doesn't want me. He came, he looked at everybody, but he didn't look at me. Everybody went on a one-on-one, but not me. He came and he sat next to you, but not me. So that means he doesn't like me, and I'm going home and I'm not wanted or loved. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is really cheesy, but it works. Saying good things about yourself, either in a mirror, on a walk, or record it and have it play as you sleep. You need to do something like that, because it was very alarming to watch you self-sabotage like this. It was very alarming, and this is not on the fault of Zach or anybody else, and it's not even on the fault of you. I don't know what happened in your life or what you endured to make you respond in such a way as if somebody has experienced some trauma in that situation. I don't know if it was abandonment. I don't know if you were bullied for something as a kid, but there is something going on with you where you just don't know that you're that girl. And you need to know for yourself, because people are telling you that you're that girl and you're not believing it, which makes me believe that you don't. So you have to do the work so that you can realize that you are that girl. Because let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Had it not been for this show, you would never probably be going for a Zach. Are you kidding me, girl? Look in the mirror, gas yourself up. Speak positive affirmations over yourself, about yourself, and to yourself. This was very sad to watch, but it was also very relatable. I don't think that anybody can look at her and be like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? I think that a lot of us watched this and was just like, oh, I've been there. This is hard to watch. We've all been there at some point. And I felt really, really bad for her because it just, nobody could say anything. It just wasn't enough. And I do feel like she did, it's not wrong for her to want more from Zach, but I felt like even if he gave her more, it would not have been enough because she already defeated herself before anything happened. You defeated yourself. You said the battle was lost before you even entered the battle. You told yourself that you lost it. So then what's going to happen? You're not going to try. You're going to walk through the day defeated before you even come to come to a trial. If that even happens, right? This day was probably set up to be a great day for you. Even Zach was like, I did not think this would go like this. I thought we had a strong connection. And I know you're probably watching the episode back like, I thought he hated me. That happens. We all do it. Not judging you, but girl, you got to get a hold of that, because that saboteur, as RuPaul says, will eat up your youth. And you will look back and be like, man, I cannot believe that I thought that I was not that girl, or I thought that I was not good enough when I was that girl, when I was the ish. Okay? So get a hold of that now, honey. Get a hold of that now, honey, because the devil is a liar, baby. That saboteur is lying to you. That's all I wanted to talk about. Let me briefly talk to you guys about your thoughts on this episode, and then we will get into the spoilers. Let's go. Afua, thank you for the super chat. Afua said, one thing about Brooklyn, she gonna speak up for Black contestants. I love her. She's 2 for 2 on the show. She did the same to the single white mom. Yeah, I love Brooklyn. This is a Brooklyn Stan account. That's my girl. I love her. She's gonna eat in paradise. I do not think that Zach is picking her. But I love her. Brooklyn is real. She brings realness to this show. Everybody is playing Polly Pocket cookie cutter, Bachelor and Bachelorette like this is, 20 years ago, right? No, Brooklyn is a Bachelor contestant in 2022 or 23, whenever this was filmed. Like, she's today. And that's what we need. That's what we need. And I think that this energy that she's giving is where the show needs to go to grow and sustain its popularity. Because if they don't evolve, I don't see them being around for much longer. But thank you so much, Afua. Thank you so much. Caitlin Bristow said on her podcast that the hotel footage shown of Zach was filmed in a hotel in LA. Really? That's weird. That is really weird. So, you know what? So maybe they did that because he probably was in no condition to have a date then. Or maybe they were filming something. Who knows? Blue Jay said the sleeping together for the Bachelor Bachelorette is interesting because if they're, come on, please talk about it. If their audience is conservative Christian, because ain't that isn't that premarital sex? It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And remember, Hannah was a Christian conservative girl that everybody loves. And then all of a sudden it gets to on her season, it gets to the fantasy suites, and everybody's applauding her for banging Pilot Pete 4 times. Remember that? She was talking about how they had sex 4 times in the windmill or whatever. Is it called a windmill? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That thing that you see in them Swedish scary movies. That thing right there. Lighthouse, right? Lighthouse, windmill, whatever it is. The audience was just like, oh. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. One good Christian moment. You're having sex 4 times with a man that's not your husband? and you're telling the world and younger audiences about it. Doesn't seem Christian to me. Right? Like, it's so crazy how that is always overlooked. But you want to keep it so cookie cutter Christian. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Frauds. Caitlin said, I love that it's far enough in the season to start. I already got that one. But yeah, I do the same thing too. Caitlin said, I got that one. Ryan said, I didn't like him after the way he treated Rachel. He was giving, I have anger issues. It was a turn off for me after the way he treated Rachel. Like, he was gaslighting her, trying to make it seem like she was wrong. And I'm like, how is she wrong for reacting to how you treated her? Like, it was so manipulative. I was like, oh, not my Bachelor. Not my Bachelor. Ryan said they did not care at all. And Greer being so pissed was funny. She was done with them. Blue Jay said, I would automatically have a rose ceremony and honestly cuss them out, because if I was looking for love and my potential don't even say, I hope they are okay, where is Claire? Oh, if this was Claire would have been like, nobody came to my room. I should have had 30 knocks at my door from every man here. You should have been fighting to take my temperature. But nobody did that. Except this biracial guy that I'm in love with. I'm sorry, I forgot that guy's name. Is his name Dwight? Devin? Melissa says, Zach is always talking about finding his partner and best friend, but has no idea what it means to be somebody's partner. Absolutely not. He is absolutely the kind of guy where, and Zach, this might not be true, right? I'm saying from what I've seen of the show, this is what you give off. You give off guy who wants to be in a relationship with a woman that just agrees with him, and doesn't speak. That's what it's given. That's what it's given. You do not want a partner that has an opinion at all, especially if it's an opinion that is a opposite of your opinion. Absolutely not. Ashley said, Jack be showing his true colors whenever he disagrees with someone. Ashley also said, curious to know what went down with Rachel in the fantasy suites now. You know what? She's doing a lot of talking. I would love for her to tell us that. Irene says Zach got a little problem when someone disagrees with him. Yeah, he gets very nasty. Very nasty. Absolutely, Ryan. Ryan said he's the type that makes his partner want to walk on eggshells, because that's exactly what Greer did. She, like, all of a sudden just, fell inside of herself. She started stuttering. She was very nervous. She left that date crying, like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, you didn't do anything wrong. You were on a date with somebody who was a jerk to you. That's it. Right? Like, so offended. I'm watching it like, well, what did she say that was so terrible? Naya said, exactly. My immediate thought was that Zach hasn't been quarantined like the ladies, and would be a bit annoyed. And I would be a bit annoyed if I were them, because now you're risking us. Absolutely. And expects to be kissed all over right after you get out of quarantine. Absolutely not. You're going to be shedding for up to 30 days. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ryan said, and of course, Kat is a nurse, but doesn't have basic empathy. Oh, so it was Kat, not Katie. Thank you for the clarity. Caitlin said, I'm all for making bold moves because time's running out. But it was tacky timing. Yeah, tacky timing. Tacky timing. She would not let up. And I was like, keep going, Brooklyn. Drag her. Drag her. Sarah said, I miss when people were stealing time left and right. Let's make a TV show, right? Like, do that. Now everybody's like, oh, we're just going to be courteous. It's a game show. Why are you courteous? This is your money. This is your opportunity. This is your 15 minutes of fame. Make a move. Blue Jay said, Nikki, you should sell courses. Reality TV boot camp. Learning to do what needs to be done. Yes. Oh, you know what? I might just. Caitlin said, this is what confuses me. They edited Greer out of the opening shots of the girls walking through Estonia. So if there's another girl who tests positive, I won't be shocked. I think there is. There probably is going to be a few. There's probably going to be a few. Because I'm telling you, Zach and the production were hanging out in Estonia, unmasked, living their best life, probably making out with locals. And production and Zach got COVID. So that, that COVID demon got to spread through a bunch of people before it moves on to, another group of people to terrorize. Melissa said it was Brooklyn's second time standing up for Charity. Remember when Charity got the group date rose and Christine, oh yes, said she deserved the rose. Brooklyn took her down. Yep, she knows. Brooklyn was about to clock Kat's tea, and Kat was like, absolutely not. Let me get out of this scene. Absolutely not. She was just like, I'm curious. I said, yes, Brooklyn. I'm curious of why you chose to do it to her. I said, I loved it. I loved it. Hey, Bree, how are you? Come on. I'm curious, would you have done that to Jess? She wouldn't have. And Brooklyn knew that. This is the kind of ally you got to be, right? Like, don't gaslight me with everybody else. Call it out for what it is. Naya said Brooklyn was reading. She definitely posted a black box on Instagram during the summer of 2020. Oh, no. Not only did she post a black box, she was out there fighting the cops. F you pigs. Brooklyn, stand down. Stand down. This is peaceful. Mel said the only thing I didn't like is that Charity never got to talk about her feelings. Yes, Brooklyn didn't let her get a chance. I will say that was the only thing. I was like, Brooklyn, let her deal with it. But I'm also glad that Brooklyn came over there to have the conversation. Like, I'm torn. Like, I wanted Charity to say what she needed to say, but I also like that Brooklyn was not going to let Kat gaslight her, because at the end of the day, Brooklyn knows, and Charity knows, that Kat had no respect for Charity. Because the fact that Kat did not try to get it right with Charity spoke volumes to me. Charity had to get it right with her. Why? Absolutely not. AJ said, I mean, Kat didn't do it to Ally, but I understand what Brooklyn was saying. Yeah, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Hey, Megan. Megan said Brooklyn said on a podcast that Charity was her best friend in the house, and Charity said that Brooklyn confided in her about her abusive past. I knew it. I'm telling you, there was a conversation, because Brooklyn was heated with Kat, right? But then when it got to that cocktail party or rose ceremony, Brooklyn was like, the gloves are off. So she absolutely had a conversation with Charity about that, and was like, bet, I got it. Bree said, I hope I don't sound stupid saying I don't think it was racially motivated. No, that's your perspective. That's fine. Caitlin said, Gabby's like, it isn't in our best interest to talk to her. Kat, yeah. Everybody knew what she was doing, and nobody was coming to protect her. Amirio said, I love Brooklyn for that. She supported Charity the whole way through. Yep. That's a real friend. Miss Chris said, Brooklyn in paradise. Yes. She said, if the shoe fits, like, yes! If the shoe fits, late status. I love her. I love her. Miss Brown Sugar said, not me jumping in to thinking y'all were talking about the perfect match when I heard, why are y'all sending these beautiful Black women home? This is the thing. I started watching it, The Perfect Match. What the hell is going on with Shane? Shane looks a lot healthier, but he still got something's going on. And even one cast member was just like, stop moving. What is going on? But I'm probably, because there's 12 episodes, I'm probably not going to start reviewing that until next week, because I want to be caught up a bit to have a conversation about it. But when I do start, if I do start next week with The Perfect Match, we're going to wrap it up that week. I mean, it's 12 episodes, but I don't feel like every episode needs a live. Hey, Ryan. Ryan said her hair has always looked flawless, makeup as well. Charity always looks so put together. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if this is what she's doing on her own, imagine what's going to happen with the hair and makeup team, right? In costume department. I will say this, Charity, speak up. Speak up about your hair, speak up about your makeup. You can request and put in your contract to bring in your own hair and makeup person, or that the show pays, or make sure that this show hires a black hair and makeup team. Please negotiate that in your contract, because you have the ability to be the first. No shade to any other black bachelorette. I'm saying there were, sometimes there were leave outs that were not matching up. You know what I mean? But Charity has the ability to be the first bachelorette with an unclockable weave. Unclockable. I've yet to see that heifer's leave out not match. Yet. Lace wear. Lace wear. She can do it. She can do it. Miss Brown Sugar said, I like Charity, but I have zero expectation that she'll be the bachelorette. Expectation that she will be the bachelorette. Yeah, I feel you. Miss Chris said, wonder if they will do a Cat versus Brooklyn too. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Caitlin said the 2-on-1 is a possibility because there's still footage of Brooklyn on a date that isn't a group one. I think so too. Thank you, Shonda. Shonda said, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki.Star at home. Thank you. She's the youngest on the cast. Yeah, just get a hold of that now. Get a hold of that now. Don't let that lie, right? That saboteur eat up your 20s. Don't, because if they eat up your 20s, they're gonna eat up your 30s. And then it's gonna be too strong. Not that you can't break it, right? But at this point, it'll just be a part of your identity at this point that it'll get harder and harder to break. I want her in paradise. I absolutely do. I want her in paradise. Miss Chris said, just reminds me of a friend of mine who gets consumed, yes, by her anxiety. It's hard to watch. It is. Naya says she did not need to come on this show. She needs to do a lot of work on herself and her self-esteem. Absolutely. Ryan said her age was showing her growth is going to be crazy great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more of Jess, older and healthier. Megan said Jess needs to sing to herself. Good morning, gorgeous. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Bree said, nah, Nikki, Zach was wrong too, though. There was no way she was going to be the final rose having gone without a one-on-one. No, I absolutely get that. I absolutely get that. But throughout the day, right? Throughout the episode, Jess defeated herself from jump. So there was no good that could come out of anything that anybody said because it just was not good enough. It was not good enough. Blue Jay said, it may not be like that, but I'm 1 year, I think, older than Jess, and I struggle too with insecurity and seeing myself as desirable. I hope she can grow from that and learn. Absolutely. Like it's like what she's dealing with is nothing abnormal, right? It's nothing abnormal. It's, it's just, she just has to work on her confidence and knowing that, she's that girl. You got to talk to yourself. You got to big yourself up. I thank God for my mama, because my mom, who is also a dark-skinned Black woman, knew what I would be enduring. So by the time I got at the age where I would be impressionable and well, you're always impressionable as a kid, right? But, I'm specifically talking about like middle school, junior high, high school. By the time I was of age, at that age, you couldn't tell me nothing about my skin color. I literally grew up with that being my best feature, right? So nobody could say nothing to me, because anything that you said about my the deepness of my melanin, you lying. You absolutely lying to me, because I have been gassed up my whole life about how beautiful my skin is. So you can't break in one moment what has been years of adoration about my skin color from just everybody in my world, because my mom made sure that I knew that, right? And she checked anybody who tried to say anything other. right? So like it's just you just got to work on that. You just have it's like you have to do it daily. And now as a black dark-skinned actress in LA, I'm thankful for having that upbringing, but I have to continue to remind myself daily of who I am, right? And what I actually look like cuz this place will mess you up. Will absolutely mess you up. But you got to remind yourself every day, you got to big yourself up. Remember, guys, I say that all the time. Gas yourself up. Do not wait for anybody to gas you up or compliment you. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I mean, you don't have to be nasty when somebody compliments you. You know what I mean? You don't have to somebody compliments you like, oh, you're beautiful. Yep. I know that's right. Like, you don't have to do that. But you can be like, oh, thank you. And then say to yourself, I already knew. You got good eyes. You got to gas yourself up. This world will tear you down, baby. AJ said Zach was also lying when he told her a one-on-one isn't important. Yeah, he was gaslighting her. So yeah, I feel like her outrage was. I felt like she was right for being upset, but I felt like she had already defeated herself before she even sat down with him. Miss Brown Sugar said, on the low, though, Jess was right about the one-on-one. She knows the game, and for Zach to pretend as if those dates don't make a difference was disingenuous. Agreed. Agreed. Caitlin said, let's be honest. Yep, I know where you're going, and I agree. If Greer wasn't quarantined, Jess would not have made it through another week. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ryan said, I'm around her age, so definitely saw myself in her, but Zach was also not helping. Right. Oh, thank you, Bria. She said, I ain't watching The Bachelor, but I will always watch Nikki. Thank you. Oh, she would have cussed them out. And production. Why didn't you tell them to get up and come see about me? Like, what is happening? This is my show, guys. I miss her. Lily B said, actually, every girl visited Zach when he was in a hotel room through the door. However, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Thank you for the update. Wait, I saw something about Clear. AJ said, Clear would have been like, if you're not risking catching COVID for me, you got to go. Yes. Hey, Brianna. Brianna said, I think pilot Rachel will go on Bachelor in Paradise, but at the same time, probably not. I think it would be too soon for her, but I think her and Gabby should go to Paradise just to get more exposure. But I don't think they should go right away. I think they should wait a minute, and then go back. Miss Brown Sugar said, and let's talk about how these women keep trying it with Charity. I was thinking the same thing, Brooklyn. True. Annette said, if Charity expressed her feelings and didn't automatically accept Kat's apology, she would be stereotyped. Brooklyn being angry or mad at Kat is more acceptable to the audience. Yes. And that is how you ally. Or, that's how to be a friend to somebody. Because Brooklyn knew that she could cuss Kat out and Charity couldn't. And they probably had that conversation if they're besties, right? So Brooklyn was like, no problem. No problem. I'll do what you can't. I'll do what you can. Mel Ron said, yes, Ms. Brown Sugar, I think that Brooklyn's heart was in the right place and she did the right thing. She just needed to leave it for Charity to do. Agreed. Lily B said, I would love to see the return of the Black moms on the Bachelor franchise. Me too. Me too. Because I was going to go into my spoiler, but I want to highlight these last comments and then I'll get into the spoilers. Naya said, literally, my mother was a light-skinned woman that did an impeccable job of making sure I love my skin tone. Child, nobody could read me. Not on this. Not on this. I wish she would have also helped me with my body developing because the boobs broke me. But my skin color, no, sir. No, sir, no, ma'am. No, sir, no, anything you said about me. Oh, that's a lie. Not true. That is a lie. Miss Chris said, Nikki, I hope that Jess hears this. Me too. Really good love and advice for her. Me too. You're that girl, Jess. You are that girl. Do not let that saboteur steal your life. Caitlin said, Michelle said she would go if, That would be good. You know what? The Bachelor franchise, I'll give this to you as well because you're literally not going to try to work with me until I'm too big that you can't afford me. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, I think The Bachelor should do a spinoff of like ex bachelors and ex bachelorettes, and like just call it like Bachelor in Paradise, ex bachelors and ex bachelorettes, and just see what comes of that. Just see what comes of that. Miss Brown Sugar said, "Come to think of it, why did Greer get a bye week and they threw Logan off the boat? Gives more credence to the rumors that Logan had to leave because of something juicier." Miss Brown Sugar, wow, that that's some good tea. Because I absolutely forgot about that. Logan got COVID and they forgot about him, and they told him to leave. And I remember thinking, if Gabby really likes him, why wouldn't she fight for him to stay? But Greer can take a week off. That's good, Miss Brown Sugar. That is really, really good. We are going to end here and then get into the spoilers. The reason why I want to end here is because this is going to lead into my first spoiler. So, spoiler alert! Wait, hold on. Hold on. I have something for this. Hold on. I should have had it ready. But I have something for this. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I'll get a better one. But just to let you know, we're about to get into the spoilers. I'll give you all who don't want to hear spoilers, I give you all a chance to leave. But from here on out, this season will be spoiled. Blue Jay said, Black mamas are golden. The way they can communicate emotions, eons of dialogue with just one look or even the sound. Don't let the family link up. This is why, the reason why I highlighted this is because we are not, we are. Yes, we are going to see a Black mama on this season. It'll be Charity's mama, but Charity will get eliminated at hometowns. So Charity's not going to go to the fantasy suites. I did a little bit of digging, and I believe, hold on, I think not this episode, but the next one is when she goes home. Hold on. She goes home on hometowns. Yeah, she goes home on episode Rose Ceremony Eliminations. She goes home on the episode right before hometowns. Like, so when hometowns are picked, no, she goes home right after the first hometown. So she goes home episode 9, I believe. And we are on episode what? This is episode 6. So we got 3 more episodes of Charity. And then our girl is gone. Off to film The Bachelorette. Hopefully. But we're going to get a Black mama. But then we're not going to get any more Black people. So Charity goes home on episode 9. And another spoiler. Zach allegedly, this is all Reddit, allegedly Zach has picked Katie. Zach proposes to Katie in the season finale of The Bachelor. And this is a screenshot from Reddit. This is what I'm going to say about this show. This screenshot looked like production. Because who the hell was there to take this picture? There's no way that this show had random people on the beach watching this moment. Y'all got a leak in y'all production. So this was taken on the final scene, and this the final rose ceremony, and this is Zach and Katie sailing away after he proposes to her, and she says yes. So the final 2 are going to be Katie and Gabby, which is so weird to me because I thought that it was going to be Katie and Ariel. I really thought that Ariel was going to go far. But allegedly, the final two are going to be Katie and Gabby, and Zach is going to pick Katie. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Irene said Zach's season really hasn't been good, so I don't mind the spoilers. Miss Brown Sugar said, I don't want any of the bachelorettes back on the beach unless they have enough quality picks for them. As of now, they don't. True. Irene said, I had a feeling Charity would go off the hometown. Yeah. I don't even know if this is the hometown. I'm hoping. That's why I said I hope that we meet her family, because there's always somebody who, like, before they even get to their family, where the bachelor or the bachelorette is just like, I just don't feel it. And I don't think I should meet your family if we're not going to, you know what I mean? So I don't know if she's going to be that one, or if he's going to actually meet her family and say, yeah, this isn't a right fit. So not quite sure about that. I'll do some more digging. I'm in a bunch of Reddit chats. So it's a lot of information that I'm trying to piece together. So give me a minute. Caitlin said, whoever took and leaked that final ceremony pic, I smell a firing. Like, there's no way that's not production. There's no way that is not a pic that was taken and shared to wherever that is not from production. There's no way. No way. Annette said, I knew it. She got the montage for a reason. Yeah, she's getting sent home. She is getting sent home. Irene said, Katie had so much screen time. I'm not surprised. I am surprised because Katie did not get as much screen time as Ariel. And then I knew something was up because Ariel was getting a lot of screen time. And then all of a sudden, we ain't hear from Ariel no more. So, it's not shocking that she's not the final two if you look at the show. But in the beginning, I felt like this was it. Like, she was the one. I thought she was going to go a lot farther. Blue Jay said, do leakers get paid, or do they risk their paychecks for fun? They absolutely get paid. They absolutely get paid. I don't think they get paid as much as they do to work on the show if they're in a higher position. I think who's ever a leak is probably somebody who is getting paid below rate and is not union. So whatever money that they get from it, whatever money that they get is probably more than they make and worth the risk. Miss Brunshick said, I wouldn't even consider that a spoiler because it's beyond obvious. Guys, this one actually shocked me. The final two shocked me. I'm going to be real. From what I'm watching, if you watch it, you think that Charity has, a very strong case. I thought that she was at least going to make it to Fantasy Suites. Like, the way, the amount of footage that screen time she was getting, I thought I don't think she's going to win, but at least she's going to make it to the Fantasy Suites. That was shocking. I don't know. I'm not really amazed by Gabby. I think that Ariel and Kylie are going to have a great time with the men. I feel like they are, and this is not a read or shade or anything, but I feel like they are the kind of women and have the kind of personalities that the men in Bachelor Nation will be very attracted to. So I see Kylie and Ariel like having a really good paradise, and I see them possibly being in a lot of love triangles if they don't lock it in early with a guy, with one of the former bachelors or whatever contestants. That's the thing. Now, I was just like, Katie being Zach's pick is weird for me because of how little screen time she has received opposed to other women. But when you see that she is the pick and then you think about that scene, that makes sense, right? Because now that tells the story of, oh, this is where it all turned around. And that's why they only showed her. Because you guys are saying other women came to him, but they only showed her, and they took out time showing her putting together a care package for him, and then showing her go to his room and sit outside the door and lean and listen to him. That was strategic because now they're building their love story now. Even though it probably was building for a very long time, we just didn't see it, right? But now they're showing you that this is where their love story is beginning. And that is why Charity goes home, or certain women go home, because Zach and Katie have this very strong relationship that formed when she checked on him when he had COVID, which is probably not the case, but that's the case in TV. Sarah said Katie had such a squeaky clean edit, very Mary Jane vibes. First of all, she didn't even rise to the top until Zach got COVID. She was a group day heifer. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're having these intimate moments and they're building a story. We're going to see more of her now. We're going to see more of her now. Ashley Smith said, wow, for some reason, I thought it would be Gabby for sure. I thought it was going to be Ariel. Caitlin said, oh, imagine Michelle and Nate both agree to go on Bachelor in Paradise, but production promises them that the other won't be on. The mess I want. Listen, terrible for Michelle, but it will be great TV. Miss Brown Sugar said, have to jump for now, Nikki. So thank you for your service. Thank you for joining me. Melissa said, Katie seems like a people pleaser, and that is Zach's type. Caitlin said, I'm surprised by the promos. Typically, they over showcase the final two and hide the final one, but this time they swapped. They're on to Bachelor fan take, probably. Miss Chris said the Charity is too good for Zach. Bachelorette, please. Blue Jay said, do you think the Bachelor and Bachelorette do a good job at foreshadowing, keeping you on your toes in hindsight 2020? Is it painfully obvious, or you can't keep passion contained? I will say, just speaking of this season, they did a great job, because I would have never called the end. I would have never called the final two, and I would have never called Katie being the winner. Here's why. Because if for me watching the show, if it's between Katie and Gabby, then it's going to be Gabby, right? Because Gabby has had more screen time than Gabby. That's how it normally happens. But I feel like for this season, they did a really good job of not doing the obvious and leading us down this obvious road with an easy misdirect. For me, I feel completely misdirected, and that's good. That's good. Like, if I cared, I would be gagged. Like, oh my gosh, at the end of this, like, oh, I can't believe, wow, well, I would have never known Bachelor, but I don't really care. Not in a mean way. You know what I mean? But I'm not invested in this season like that. So, finding out that Katie is Zach's pick is like, oh, wow, I would have never thought of that. Smart, because I would have never called it. Susan said they had the one-on-one on the overnight in the museum. You're right. You are right. And the reason why I forgot that is because we didn't focus on Katie anymore after that. They started focusing on Charity right after that. So yeah, but you are right about that museum date. That was so boring. That was such a boring date. They had absolutely no chemistry. I thought she was going to go home on that date. Ciao. Miss Brown Sugar said, oh, I thought they had some chemistry from their Ross and Rachel. I didn't see it. Susan said, Katie and Zach are the ones that they put a montage for as well. Who? Bachelor fan take or the show? Tracy said, Star Family 106 in the chat and 42 likes. Like this live up. Irene said the museum date, the COVID convo, I saw it coming. Now it makes sense. The COVID convo makes sense now that she's the winner, but I would have never called Katie as the winner. Gabby, yeah, but I would have thought that it would have been Gabby and Ariel at the end. They did really good with a misdirect. I'm going to get two more and then we're going to get out of here because I got to hop into a reality TV chat. Thank you, Steph. Steph said, I don't even watch this, but I love supporting you. Thank you, sis. Thank you for the super chat. Sarah said, another bland bachelor couple that will decide to be friends in 6 months. Absolutely. We're going to end with Susan. Susan said the show showed the montage during the talking through the door incident. Really? I do not remember that at all. I do not remember that at all. I was laser focused on everything that was happening with Charity in Brooklyn. Anyway, Star family, thank you so much for joining me. From here on out, just to let you guys know, this will be a recap spoiler review from here on out. Now that I know that my girl Charity is going home, this will be spoiler heavy, but I will also let you know when the spoilers are coming in. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to join me. If you watch any other reality TV show on Bravo, such as The Real Housewives of New Jersey, The Real Housewives of Miami, Married at First Sight, what I'm finally caught up on, and 90 Day Fiance, I'm going to do a recapathon in about 30 minutes for those shows. And then I'll see you Friday for something else. Love you all. Thank you for joining me. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Love you. Do not listen to the saboteur. You are that girl. You are that guy. You are that they, them. You are everything. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.